We next honor a local television program that took one of the most complicated of subjects and turned it into really riveting television. The topic was organ donation. WANE television was the source.
I think that a lot of the reason that people don't say yes is because they don't know what really happens.
It took me a little bit of wrestling, both with my conscience and also with just some gut level feeling about my son.
I think part of what Phil is looking at here is Chris's soul and Chris's body are two different things, and yet it's his soul left his body at the point of impact and brain death. To remove parts of that body would be a very difficult thing to do until you realize that Chris is no more there. And I think that's what made the decision for us finally to realize that this was an empty vessel. If Chris can live on in 4 or 5 other people, that makes his years 4 times what he perhaps had.
Families tell me that the only thing that gets them through the loss of their loved one is their decision to donate.
WANE-TV news anchor Karen Hensel is here to accept the Peabody.
I can relate to Maria Shriver. I also, when I found out from my boss that we had won a Peabody, burst into tears and silence, which is not always an easy thing for me to do, is to be silent. I always have something to say. Our goal with Christopher was to show not so much the surgery of organ donation, but to show the love and care that these nurses give. And we did that. And sometimes as journalists we wonder, is anybody watching? Are we making a difference? Well, in this one we did. Organ donation went up 500% after Christopher aired many of those pediatric cases. And I think that's because we as journalists, we have a responsibility to not only do the story, but to do the story right. And part of the success goes to the team of people that I work with, photographers, the graphics editors. But also I'm blessed to work for a company, Lynn Television, Paul Karpowitz and Gary Chapman, who allow me to do these half-hour documentaries, no commercials, and they air them in prime time. They make sure that people see them. They are also behind them, so my thanks to them. I do accept the Peabody on behalf of Christopher and Christopher's parents, because while Christopher is a half-hour documentary, Christopher was also an 11-year-old boy. Thank you very much. It's an honor.
Thank you, Jeff. I am honored to present this new award for excellence in health and medical programming. At the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, our mission is to improve the health and healthcare of all Americans. At our foundation, we work to ensure that all of us have access to basic health care at a reasonable cost, to improve care and support for people with chronic health conditions, and to promote health and reduce the personal, social, and economic harm caused by substance abuse, tobacco, alcohol, and illicit drugs. We believe that an informed public is important to the achievement of those goals. All of you here clearly play a critical role in that effort. Since 1997, we have made more than $56 million in grants to support news coverage and specific programming. We hope this Peabody Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Prize will stimulate an entire field to produce more and better programming on health and healthcare issues. I'd like to offer a special thanks to Dr. Henry Foster from the Meharry Medical College School of Medicine, who, with Barry Sherman and Neil Arenstam, reviewed the entries and selected the winner of this first award. And now, without further comment, the winner of the first Peabody Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Prize for Excellence in Health and Medical Programming is Christopher. WANE-TV, Indiana. Please welcome back to the stage Karen Hensel.
I don't know what to say because I'm incredibly stunned. The Deputy Surgeon General is here, and he walked up to me and introduced himself earlier. And he had seen the program Christopher, and his wife was an organ donor, and several years later, his 22-year-old daughter, through tragedy, also became an organ donor. And he knows the process and was telling me the impact that he felt from Christopher, and that meant so much to me. Christopher's parents were incredibly gracious to allow us the access that they gave us, but also was a nurse by the name of Joyce Roush, who allowed us to be there to show not so much the surgery, but the love and care that these nurses give. The final bath, the wrapping of Christopher, this little boy, in warmed blankets to wheel him back to his parents for the final goodbye. I'm wearing, the Deputy Surgeon General gave me a green pen here that signifies organ donation, and then before I left for the trip, this heart locket was given to me by Christopher, his parents. There's a picture of Christopher and then the little boy who received his heart. The two parents came together. So on their behalf, I appreciate this award, and I promise I will do it in honor. Thank you very much.